With communication, everything starts with listening, whether it's to customers, leadership, or the team. You need to listen in order to understand other perspectives and needs. Listening can also help to build relationships, promote understanding, and build empathy. And it can also help to save time and make sure that things are done right the first time. So, what exactly is active listening? Well, it's more than just listening. Listening is really important, but oftentimes communication is not just about what was said, but about how it was said. You have to read between the lines as well as be aware of body language. When you're actively listening, you're being an engaged listener. This means that you're paying attention to the person who's speaking and making sure that they know that they have your full attention. There shouldn't be any distractions like email or text messages. And it's not just about listening. You want to fully understand other points of view. You don't necessarily have to agree with those other points of view, but you do need to understand those views as if you were in the other person's shoes. And remember, you are listening, not imposing your own views at this point. And so when you're listening, your role is not to judge or offer alternative views. It's just to listen and understand exactly where the other person is coming from. So why is active listening important? Well, there's two really big benefits. It helps to build strong relationships. By actively listening, you're building empathy for the other person's point of view. And you're also showing that you care about understanding their perspective. This can go a really long way towards building strong relationships. It also promotes understanding. You don't just learn what the other person's point of view is. You understand the context behind why they have that point of view and how they got there. This gives you a much deeper level of understanding. And as well, it can help you to anticipate how they might react to certain things in the future. So let's walk through some tips for how you can actively listen. The first thing you'll want to think about is making eye contact and smiling. You want the other person to feel relaxed and comfortable when they're talking to you. You can help to promote this by making eye contact and smiling when appropriate. This shows the other person that you're listening to what they're saying. Another thing that you can do is provide encouragement. So what this means is that you're acknowledging that you're hearing what the other person is saying. You can do this by nodding your head or making small comments like saying yes, or that makes sense. Another thing that's important is don't interrupt. Give the other person the space to complete their thoughts. You want to avoid interrupting them. Let them finish what they're saying and make sure that you hear and fully understand what they're saying. But you can ask clarifying questions when needed. If you aren't quite following what they're saying, wait until there's a pause and then ask them if they can clarify. Phrase your questions in a way that avoids judgment. The best types of questions are open-ended, where you genuinely want to better understand their point of view. And lastly is paraphrase. It's also really helpful to paraphrase and mirror back what you just heard. This makes sure that you're really understanding what the person is saying and gives them an opportunity to correct you if you misheard. You can do this by saying something like, just to make sure I'm understanding this, I think that you just said XYZ. Did I get that right?